Hey guys, it's Mario Fan 520. Now listen, I haven't uploaded in a little bit and stuff like that. I'm sorry. I have to deal with school and stuff like that. Kind of busy, back on my schedule, but hey, I'm uploading again today. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say before I start this movie review. So I hope you guys enjoy this movie review that I'm about to do. I'm about to do a horror movie review of The Thing. It's a very great horror movie, and if you haven't seen it, you definitely should. But anyway, let's get started with this movie review, shall we? So The Thing was directed by John Carpenter, and it basically tells the story about these crew members that are in Antarctica, and they find out that there is this weird entity alien thing that crashed in Antarctica thousands of years ago, and it basically starts imitating some of these crew members one by one, and it digests them and becomes that person, and the crew has to try to figure out who is one of the crew members or who is the thing, and they have to try to fight against the creature. And this movie really surprised me. There was stuff in this movie that were actually happening. There was never a dull moment in this movie. Something was always happening in this movie, and it's not just the thing. It's the crew members and struggling how to figure out which person is the thing and which person's not the thing, and they do it so cleverly. There were things in this movie that were actually happening. There was never a boring moment, and you can actually feel the horror that these people are experiencing. But this is not a fast-paced movie. This movie is like nearly 2 hours long, and it has an impressive storyline. Because when I first heard about this movie, I heard it was very good. A lot of people told me, hey Elijah, you gotta watch The Thing. And you gotta watch The Thing. It's an amazing horror film. It's a classic. I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. And I haven't watched it. And I keep on saying I'll watch it. I haven't watched it. But when I finally saw it, this movie absolutely surprised me. And I was so mad that I didn't get to see it a while ago. The plot in this movie is very clever for a John Carpenter film. This has to be one of his greatest films he's ever made. The characters are very likable in this movie. The Thing, it's just, you don't know what it is. It's literally a creature, an entity, and it's actually kind of scary sometimes. The setting is pretty good. I liked how they created the setting in Antarctica and not just these present days like in the United States or cities like New York, because that would just be probably a departure. So I think Antarctica was a great pick. The characters were very lovable in this movie. They reminded me of the characters in Jaws. I did like Kurt Russell as this guy named MacReady. He was very great in this movie. He had a lot of charisma, and when you just look at MacReady, you could tell that he's automatically, when you look at him, you could tell that he's the leader of this entire crew. And you just want to stay with him. You're like, okay, I want to be with you. Screw the rest of the people. But I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But seriously, when you do see him, you're like, no, seriously, I want to stay with you. You look like the leader. You are. And you have other characters like Childs Blair or Dr. Blair, Palmer. You have Windows, who is played by Thomas G. Waits, which he did a great job, by the way. And you have other fantastic characters, and they're just likable. And you can watch movies like this, and you can find these characters are so difficult not to like. And yes, John Carpenter made this film, and he also made Halloween, which is another one of my favorite horror movie classics. No surprise that this movie was directed and composed by Carpenter himself, despite the fact that Carpenter said he can't even write a... But this movie has a lot of suspense, and great suspense. I love the suspense just as much as I love the suspense from Alien and The Evil Dead, which I'll be doing a movie review of as well. This movie is actually pretty gory, and the gore doesn't show up for a good, decent amount of time through the movie. Unless you count the scenes where the dogs or the huskies got imitated by the Thing and its face split open, that was actually pretty scary. And you could actually see the dog's face splitting open while the Thing is imitating the creature, and it was kind of disturbing for audiences and even me and even this thing. Please someone look at that and tell me that is cute, because that is an absolute terror. When I first saw that was literally stuck in my head for the rest of the night. But everything was always happening in this movie. Something was always going on in this movie, and that's what I really liked. That's how I got into watching this movie and understood what's going on. The crew members found out about this entity thing that landed in Antarctica thousands of years ago, and now it's starting to imitate them and kill them one by one. And they're trying to fight against the Thing, which is confusing because they don't know if their crew members are them or the Thing, which is even scary. Now, if you guys are fans of horror movies, and if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. You guys should. It's a fantastic movie, and it's a John Carpenter film. John Carpenter directed the crap out of this movie. I loved this movie just as much as I loved Halloween, and I think this movie deserves to be recognized, and for a good reason. It's a smart, clever, well-written horror movie, and it's entertaining. Everything's always happening in this movie. It's everything you would want out of a horror movie. And this is definitely a perfect example of one of the greatest horror movies of all time. And yes, this movie did come out in 1982. And still today, this still works as an amazing masterpiece horror classic, and definitely one of the greatest horror movies of all time. But the thing is, the other interesting thing about this movie is you don't know who the Thing is. You don't know what the Thing imitated. You don't know who it imitated until the truth actually reveals. And when stuff start happening, crazy stuff, and it's just blown at you, they don't really give you any signs about what's going to happen. It just happens. And it's very shocking, and it's very entertaining and scary. I did like some of the animatronics in this film. Yes, back then during the 80s, CGI wasn't a big thing, so they used animatronics. I did like the designs of the scary image of that dog where this thing was trying to imitate it, but it wasn't finished imitating it. Yeah, I already showed it to you. And all those others of, gory images, like when the Thing is imitating the crew members one by one. Most of those props were and animatronics might have not worked today in horror movies, but you know what? It definitely worked back then. And it still does work today. It fits perfectly in this great horror movie classic. This movie is very suspenseful in so many ways, and it's entertaining. The characters are very interesting. The plot is so smart and clever. The Thing is terrifying. So terrifying it makes you want to crap your pants. And that's really it. John Carpenter absolutely directed the absolute brains on making this film. The Thing has to be one of my all-time favorite horror movies, and I will watch it a lot. This probably has to be my sixth best horror movie of all time, in my opinion. The sixth greatest horror movie of all time, in my opinion. But yeah, this movie is just amazing. It surprised me on so many levels. The characters, amazing. The plot, amazing. Directing, amazing. The Thing, terrifying and amazing. The setting of Antarctica, very unexpected, but still, it works. It's amazing. And you might think this movie is going to be silly just because the movie takes place in Antarctica. It's not. This movie is so clever, and every single scene in this movie, they do it perfect. There was never a dull moment in this movie. Something was always happening in this movie, and that's what I appreciated about this movie. John Carpenter did it once a freaking again. And without a doubt, The Thing definitely gets a well-deserved A+. So guys, thank you so much for watching me do a horror movie review of The Thing, one of my all-time favorite horror movies. I will be doing some horror movie reviews later, some maybe Candyman. I also want to review Annabelle Creation and The Conjuring, maybe Alien Covenant sometime. I'm also going to finish up the Chucky movies because Cult of Chucky is coming out soon. I also want to do some other horror movie reviews, like Lights Out, Don't Breathe. I still haven't watched Kidnap, but don't worry, I will try to watch it. Maybe The Call, I will do that before I watch kidnapped, and someone requested me to review Die Hard. Don't worry, I did not forget about your request, man. I did not forget about it. I will try to review Die Hard. But yeah, thank you all guys, so much for showing me support to my channel. You guys are the best. I love every single one of you equally. Just remember that. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded, a lot because, you know, I'm busy. But anyway, I will upload, I will try to upload tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. And I do have a, episode 12 idea of the Super Mario Brothers show, for the UFO episode. If you guys don't know about the UFO episode, you guys should watch it. It's a very smart episode that I made about UFOs. It's about Mario. So episode 12 is going to continue from episode 11, and it's going to reveal the true villain who's causing these UFOs. And I think you guys should watch it. I'm going to upload it tomorrow. I think you guys will be very interested into it. I think you guys will love it. If you guys don't, oh well, then it's okay. You guys don't have to like all my videos. If you don't, that's okay. I respect people who have their own opinions. I respect people who like, dislike. I respect it. So it's okay. It's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna be one of those pissed off YouTubers who just one person, I get one dislike on my videos and I'm just gonna go ranting. No. It's perfectly fine. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching me do a horror movie review of The Thing. But anyway, stay tuned for my episode I'll probably be uploading tomorrow and Saturday, and more movie reviews maybe Saturday and Sunday. And as always, I thank you guys for so much for watching. And as always, I'm MarioFan520, and I will see you next time. Peace out. And thanks for watching.